Yeah, I like it. That's cool. So, okay,
All right.
Grandma Kelly,
Yes.
how's it going?
It's going really good.
Yeah, nice. What have you been up to today?
Today I first went to Sam Finn Park. I did some metal detecting there. And now I'm down here talking to you two.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, it's been really fun. We've been hanging out with my brother Seth, Boy Best, on YouTube. Check him out. Um, yeah, Grandma Kelly's been showing me YouTube stuff, showing me how to work the machine, all sorts of good stuff. Yeah, so now we're gonna be doing a podcast. I'm excited. This is my first one.
I'm super excited to be the first one.
I'm a little nervous,
It's
to
okay.
be honest, but that's all right. Yeah, so tell me about yourself.
Well,
What?
I'm 60 years
Yeah.
old and I'm an empty nester. I was from the city. I was in Linwood, Washington, and some family stuff happened and evolved, and now I'm an empty nester down in Elmo, Washington. I bought a almost condemned farmhouse, and I'm now a country girl.
Nice. Something I've been wanting to ask you, and we've actually talked about it a bit, so you might have to repeat yourself a little bit. But like, what do you do? like, what do you do? Like, I'm super interested. Like, you started explaining it to me earlier, and I was like, huh, that's super like unusual.
Right. There's lots of things that I do. One of the main things I do is I try and spend 2 hours at least out every day cleaning up somewhere. I clean up the environment through treasure hunting mostly. So I metal detect, magnet fish, and do kayak cleanup. And
Okay.
then sometimes, like I got a flat tire the other day and was waiting for AAA in the parking lot at the park and ride, and I just grabbed my gloves and grabbed the bag and I picked up the park and ride.
That's cool. We actually had a flat tire today. I was going to school with my ride, and yeah, no, we had to like get it refilled. It wasn't like flats like we needed AAA, but like yeah, no, we went. Barely could make it to school.
Oh,
Had to refill it again on the way home from Olympia. Yeah.
Change of plans.
Oh yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. How did you get to where you are?
I just got to where I am because I schedule. Everything I do is on a schedule and with purpose. I don't casually handle my channel. It's not a hobby. I run it as I run a business, and I've run businesses in the past.
That's cool.
Right. I still have a lot of fun, but I'm not going to just have the fun and not make the money and not impact the people. The biggest thing I want to do is impact the people, get them thinking of their environment in the world too. I can't do it by myself, but if I can influence a few people to do it, we can clean up this world and make it a better place.
Yeah, no, that's good. Like something I was curious. Let me not cover my mouth when I'm speaking. Oh, caught myself.
Yeah, we're all gonna get
Yep,
better.
yep. For sure.
We're good at this, so make sure those thumbs are up, guys.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. You have 70,000 subscribers. And what my brother Seth, and obviously me as well, were wondering was like, how did you get to 70,000 subscribers doing what you're doing?
I actually release 5 videos a day.
That's freaking a lot.
Okay?
That's a lot.
Yes, it seems like a lot, but I never had the intention to be. I'm a shorts creator. If we're talking YouTube side, I never had the intention of being a shorts creator. Okay, but YouTube classifies me as an entertainment short creator with a little bit of long content. I do Tuesday mornings. I do a live show where we talk about life and things and channels. So if you need help with channels and we have ideas, we can come together on Tuesday mornings and talk in a group about that. I'm gonna go back to doing my talk show at night, where we can have more just fun. I haven't picked out the day I'm going to start that yet, but it's going to start up soon. The other side, and I do a pop-up live where I actually just burn garbage in my front yard. I know it sounds weird.
I just burn garbage.
A chance to come together, and yes, people root for things to blow up in the garbage all the time, which is our maturity showing. But it's a lot of fun, so that's good. So when I started my YouTube channel, I have some basic principles that I was going to stick to, and one of them was going to be to have fun.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I think channels turn away a lot of people because they get negative. Okay. Or they do minor little things like don't pick up after themselves or don't relate to the people who are around them. When I'm in a park and people are around, I talk. I hand out cards, not cards, but stickers. I I make sure I talk to the kids. The kids in the tot lots are never bothering me. The people who sit down, in the grass or come talk to me and ask me for the 100 millionth time, and you'll hear metal detectors say this, and I think it's a big mistake. They say that it was so full, and everybody just kept asking me. And they asked me, "Did you find anything good today?" It's so irritating. No, it's not irritating. Ask me that over and over and over again, because that gives me a chance to influence you, maybe to be more conscious about your garbage in the park, so you pick up after yourself at least. Um, a lot of this happened was I am a woman first, and I do magnet fishing, metal detecting, and kayak cleanup. I am a treasure hunter, and there just isn't as many women treasure hunters as there is men.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you need to take something that makes you different than everybody else. Okay. So I do that. And then the other thing I do is I don't just metal detect, I don't just magnet fish. I do it from the side of an environmentalist for cleaning up the environment.
Yeah.
And most treasure hunters don't even think about the fact that they're cleaning up the environment.
Yeah, I did notice that on your channel. You're like, yeah, let's like do good practices and not throw trash everywhere and other quality things.
And when you see a lot of the other videos, you're gonna see this guy show you this 1700 coin or this other stuff, and that's it. I show you my trash, I show you my garbage, I show you everything I get. Because then when you go to pick up a metal detector and you find nothing cool all day, it's normal and it's still good. So I came at it from a different angle, I think. And then the other thing is that helped me a lot is when I was out magnet fishing in Kirkland, Washington, my magnet got stuck and I had to dive. It was winter, and I dived down to see how come it was stuck. I was at the marina. Okay, during that same time period, I ran into a guy called Magneto. I didn't know who he was.
His name's Magneto.
Well, that's his online.
Yeah, I was realizing that, but I did not at first. I was like, what a cool name.
So this kid, and I don't mean kid, but because I'm older, he was a kid. He's in his 20s, and his girlfriend live on their boat at the marina, right? And it was really odd because they were coming down and talking to me again. I'm being positive. I'm being forward thinking. I'm being happy, and I'm having a good time. And it's obvious that I'm having a good time. Okay. And I'm talking to everybody around me who wants to talk to me. Him and his girlfriend came and talked to me. I went home, didn't think anything of it. At that same time, I came back with my kids and dived on the magnet because no magnet left behind.
No magnet left behind.
When it's a $200 magnet, you're gonna make dang sure that you really can't get it unstuck.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
Anyway, and then all of a sudden I woke up and my channel blew up. I went to bed.
Oh, I was gonna get to that question. That's awesome.
And my channel blew up, and I was like, "What the heck?" And I couldn't figure it out. And then I was getting all these really odd comments, and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on, and I was really confused. And apparently, Magneto is a really popular YouTuber in El Salvador, and he owns a percentage of this gaming company too. And yes, he's in his 20s, guys.
That's awesome.
He lives on a boat in a marina at a very expensive place. Anyway, he actually made me a character and told all his followers to go check out the real Magnet Lady. Because he's Magneto, and that's his superpower, is magnetism.
Yeah.
But he met me, the lady who really used the magnet to clean up the environment.
Yeah.
And so he made me a player in his game. It took me 2 weeks to figure out this. One of his subscribers told me what's going on.
Like, hey, yeah, by the way.
Right. And I was like totally shocked. So that popped me off to begin with.
Yeah, that's a great start. Great start.
Right? I was like, that was crazy. Of course, with that came a bit of negative because of the jealousy issue.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. People. Right? I love people. I'm not knocking them. I don't want to get negative here. I don't want to do that. But if somebody blows up, something's good has happened to them, be happy for them. Okay? Don't think they did anything wrong, because I've never done anything wrong. Okay? And then I was listening about all the shorts and stuff.
If you want to, yeah, you can
then
go
I
from
was
the wind.
listening to all the shorts and stuff, and people kept saying, do shorts. You guys, on YouTube Studio, on the dashboard, over on the right side, if you're looking at it, they put up little videos. Okay? YouTube puts out little videos. Watch them. Okay? Don't sit there and listen to your buddy who is in a live telling you all this stuff. Actually go watch and learn for yourself what the best practices are at YouTube. And they were talking about doing shorts. And I got seriously into doing shorts. And I did it simple. I just cut them from my raw footage. I didn't make it hard. And my subscriber base went way, way up.
Yeah.
Because I started pumping out the shorts.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
that's awesome.
and it works. I still do I do 5 videos a day of some sort. They're mostly like shorts, but it's on an everyday
I'd
schedule.
hope so. Yeah.
I work a month out. I try and be a month out on most stuff. So I'm right now actually working mostly in August. These metal detecting videos you'll see will be up in the next couple days, and they'll bump something that's already in their place. So stuff is scheduled. I work with the algorithm. I'm positive about YouTube. So I can tell you one thing, YouTube wants only one thing for you. And the only one thing YouTube wants is to make as much money as you possibly can, because they make money off you when you make a lot of money. So
very nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
I use all their stuff out there. They have a new tab out there called the promotional tab that right now people are feeling very divided about, and there's a lot of negativity out of it, but it wouldn't be a real thing if YouTube didn't want you to use it. So yes, I use that too. I use it minimum though.
Cool. Yeah, no, you've been answering a lot of the questions I was going to ask, which is great, because I prefer it to go that way, because then it's like way more natural. Yeah, I was wondering, like, what did you at one point like blow up? You mentioned something about the news when we were talking before.
Oh yeah, so I have been on Evening Magazine. I was down at a dog park again. I'm going to say this again because I think it's super, super important. You hear me? So I'm going to say it again. Okay? Be aware of who's around you. Okay? Be positive. Be happy about what you do. I was down at Edmonds Beach at the dog park with one of my dogs. I've been working with a moose. And there happened to be a reporter there. And I saw her once, and the second time she asked me what I was doing, because I was down there cleaning up the park while I was there at the dog park. Of course I was. And I told her what I do, and I was also doing a live. You can actually go back and look at it. I was sitting there on live at the dog park. Okay. She asked if she could do a series or a story on me.
Oh,
and she cool. Did.
Boom.
And, yeah, boom. She came out magnet fishing with me. It was on evening news. It played again on a daytime. I can't remember. I'm so sorry about this. A daytime.
I'm sorry, news outlets.
Yeah, it played on a daytime one too. So it was at prime time, and then a couple weeks later, it was on as a segment on a daytime show too. So that was cool.
I bet that was cool. I don't even know what I'd do if that happened.
Yeah, it was surreal. It was weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just like,
this is weird. Okay.
And it was weird fun. Okay. There's a lot about this that's weird fun, and how you react to it is really important. A couple days ago, I'm at the park, and these 3 adults get out of their van, and it's one of those extended vans, and it's full of kids all about the same area, our age, and you guys can see this on my channel because I put a picture of it up. They said I could. I just get mobbed with this whole bunch of kids. Grandma Kelly, we love you. Can we take a picture of you? We're going to be famous. And you guys, I don't know how to react to that. It's just odd.
That must be so interesting.
It's an odd feeling. You feel uncomfortable, but you feel happy. But you
I am a human being that makes videos.
Yeah, and it's odd. It's odd, but it's odd good. And you got to be aware of your surroundings, because it was like, oh man, why are these kids bugging me and disrupting my day? No, it wasn't that at all.
Oh yeah, no, your face is super genuine. Yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh, and I looked confused and weird and odd, but it's like, sure guys, let's do it.
Like, all right.
And it was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, be aware of who's around you, and you can get all kinds of this. Also, too, don't get into the YouTube drama.
Or drama.
Just wait, it's coming. As you get into communities, sometimes in some communities there will be drama. Don't get involved in it. Just stay out of it. Okay, somebody will say something about somebody. It's just drama. It's just jealousy. You'll get there. You'll see it. At some point.
Okay, awesome.
And it's going to click in your brain, and you're going to say, "Ooh, I'm not going to be part of that group. I'm just going to step back and let them do their own thing.
Y'all have
I'm
fun. I'm gonna go.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and I stay out of that because in the long run, the communities isn't going to be what builds your channel. Other creators are not going to be what builds my channel. It's going to be those billions of people out there that I don't know who are going to build my channel.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Mhm.
It makes sense. And
community is important. I'm not saying it's not. They're my core people.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
love my Tuesday
we're
morning.
collaborating right now,
Yeah,
even
we're
though
collaborating right
you know
now.
the scale of help is just a little different, a little off balance, but that's all right.
I learn from you as much as you learn from me. Trust me.
That's funny.
I do learn from you too.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's funny. Okay, cool. Other good questions. Things. What do I want to know? See, I want to come at this like from an angle of like,
Mhm.
if I'm just talking to you, like, what do I want to ask you?
That's why you need to research those questions, because even though they were like, what's the last book you read? And you're like, what does that have to do with metal detecting? It tells you a lot about the person.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's go with that one then. Sure, why not? What's the last book you read?
Oh, dang it.
I
know. It's Treasure Coast by Terry. Yeah, I don't remember his last name. Sorry, Terry.
I'm impressed you remember that much,
It's
honestly.
Treasure Coast. It's a metal detecting video about Florida has a coast they call the Treasure Coast, and it's all the gold and cool stuff that got dumped there.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Far away from me. I'm happy with my 5 pennies, thank you.
Like,
they're spendable. Woo.
Let's go. Free money. Nice. Okay. Something I was thinking about with your community is like you're doing a lot of like physical effect when you're like going around in the environment and you're making a difference and like physically cleaning things up. But you're also very involved in people's communities. Like you've helped a lot, and from what I understand, quite a lot of different channels, which is very cool, by the way. Most people are not very connected in how they do things, from what I have seen. So that's a very unusually good thing that I've noticed about what you're doing. With that, it seems to me like the real effect, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm just throwing out an interesting idea, that the more real effect of what you're having is more in the awareness that you're making versus the things you're actually picking up and the people you're affecting in a positive way. What do you think about that?
As one person, I can only do so much about this world, but if I can impact 10 people, and then each one of those 10 people can go out and impact 10 people, then it gets to be a multiplication problem, and I think things just get better. And cleaning up while I'm out and about is not the whole thing. It's cleaning up your life, it's cleaning up your habits, it's cleaning up your mind, it's cleaning up your body. It's all that stuff that's important. Okay? It's not just cleaning up the world, the parts. It's more than that, and that's what we try and impact people.
Yeah, like that's the catalyst for how you stimulate awareness in the mind. Right. I was like, how can I say this in an overly complicated way?
Come by our Tuesday morning. It's called Coffee with Grandma. You come by Tuesday morning. We usually have a topic, and it's about something about personal growth.
Nice.
Something for you to think about, something to change maybe the way you talk, because I think a lot of things are wrong in our world. The government's not going to fix it, and this is not political. The government's not going to fix it. Our problems began in the home with the individual. Our problems will be solved at home with the individual.
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree. Like, culture is what's going to change the more deep things. That's kind of been my perspective. It's like people in the culture. I don't mind pausing when I'm thinking because it's real. I'm like, yeah, because I am thinking.
We all have to pause.
Yeah, well, especially when it's a concept that could go really a lot of directions.
Right.
Culture, people, I'm stimulating. Thoughts hopefully can get there. Like the family unit, right? Like if you're gonna make a change, it's not gonna be necessarily through like a system that does X, Y, and Z versus compared to like if you were just nice to someone who needs that, right? Like that can leave a bigger change. Now that's a small example, but I think you can go much further than that and go like the family unit, right? Like I mentioned that earlier, like that if that's healthy, right? Exponential effect everywhere
in life. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and so like I think people overlook the value of a lot of those things. Like we want to make a change, we want to do all this.
Right.
It's like that's valid stuff, but let's try to find the root. Like the root. Let's go as deep as we can into what's changing. That's my little bit.
No, I totally agree with you. I think we're too busy to say this is wrong with you, and we don't look at what's wrong with ourselves first. If I fix myself first, just by my example and the way I lead my life, that will affect you more than me sitting here and telling you everything that's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the root of our problems all began at home. It always all begins at home. And with taking
I would have to
control
think
of
about
ourselves.
that. I would have to think about that. It all begins at home. Okay.
Now we're way far in this, right? But if we can fix our home, it'll spread out into our schools, and it'll spread out to our home, neighborhood, schools, government. But the root of the problems all start at home.
I mostly agree with that. And in the ways I don't, it's just the other fine points that ultimately are pretty much in the line of what we're talking about.
Right.
So yeah,
okay.
Yeah, okay. For sure.
Because one thing too that I'd like to say about that is, in the world we're in today, and right now I'm in a more country type setting, a smaller town setting than Linwood, Seattle, those places.
Yeah.
Okay, which is really different. And being somebody who lived there and now lives here, I'm telling you, it's really different. We've gotten to a point in our world that you and I cannot disagree and still be friends.
I disagree.
Okay.
I'm messing. Yeah.
Emma stepped up.
Yeah, I had it coming.
But the world has gotten to be that way, and I can remember being a kid, and you and I could totally disagree, and we were still friends, and we could have fundamental differences, but we were still friends, because the only way I'm going to change you to my thinking, or you are going to change my thinking, is by remaining friends.
Yeah. Assuming it's a healthy relationship and it doesn't have other problems there.
It used to be healthy in a relationship. It used to be different times.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough blessed enough to be in a position where I experienced a lot of that, despite the current world. I had a lot of dope friends growing up, and we all like kind of disagree, but it was like, nah, we were iron sharpening iron type thing.
Right.
Like,
that's good.
And
also too, when we start taking self-responsibility, I think self-responsibility is, I say this all the time, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I will never be a victim. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be because of choices I made. Well, grandma, this bad thing happened, that bad thing, but I chose how I was going to react to it.
Yeah.
So I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be because of choices that I made. And when people start taking responsibility for themselves and their life, that's how we can make things better.
Yeah.
Instead of blaming Fred next door. Fred next door had nothing to do with it. I don't know who Fred next door
No, Fred next door. Sorry, Fred.
Fred, it's all your fault.
We apologize, but
not
really.
Next door to me, I'm really sorry. It's an example.
I like to jokingly clarify because I'm like, yo, I don't care. The 0.11 or 0.001%, gets offended. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
meet me in the comments. We'll talk.
Well, that's another thing too, you guys. With YouTube and trolls and negative comments. Let me say this about trolls.
Okay, and then I have a question for you.
Okay. First of all, I handle trolls and negative comments in the positive. They took the time to watch my whole video. They took the time to comment, and they took the time to give a reaction. Okay? They did all the things required to do the best for my channel as possible. So when a troll has something negative and nasty to say to me, I thank them for taking the time to watch and comment on my video, and I greatly appreciate them, and I give them a whole bunch of emojis.
Nice.
And I'm done.
Boom.
I don't think about it at all. I just go on.
Yeah.
And it's much nicer than arguing with them.
Yeah, makes sense. Just cut through. Yeah. My question is, do you have questions for me?
Well,
I know it's a quality question.
See. That's good. Where do you see your channel going in the next 2 years?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Okay. It really depends how this next 6 months go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm dealing with some unstable elements.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm dealing with the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really at the point where I don't know enough to be able to have a forecast of how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is my first one ever, and
Right.
I have no idea if it's how that's gonna do. So assuming that starts going good, that can have a variety of effects. Like it could kind of bolster community. It could be people could be like, Banjo, we actually know this human being who before was like way overly private about literally everything in the past. Right? It could have real good effects with that and part of the reason I want to do this is because I want to be like actually my genuine self and roll with the punches and see what happens. Yes, absolutely. I know.
That's the secret to the success of my videos.
I fully agree. I think your videos have mad success because you have a real element, and that's unusual. And you link with communities and people very effectively. I think that's pretty much a lot of your channel's success, in my opinion. But with mine, hopefully the podcasts do pretty good. I'd love to be able to just make some content without it draining me. I used to put in so much time and stress into my old videos. And yeah, but with that, if I don't want to spoil too much or say too much, but I will say this. If things go to plan in this other area, I want to be able to start doing Minecraft stuff again, but in a different way than I've done it in the past. That is more sustainable, reasonable, but also still having a pretty big vision for Pathfinder related stuff. You don't know what Pathfinder stuff is. We can get into that if you want. It's my big dream vision.
What's Pathfinder stuff?
Oh my goodness, she asked that question. Okay, I try not to
educate me.
Yeah, no, I
need to be educated. It expands my knowledge, then I know more.
So
I know more of what I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's great.
As I get older, I get more stupid. It's like, oh damn, I didn't even know about that. Okay, go.
Okay, Pathfinders is a concept for community. Community structure. I found that community is a very valuable thing. That is one of those roots I was talking about earlier.
Right.
And my goal as how old was I? Probably 14, maybe 15-year-old kid, was to create a structure for community that could lead to exponential growth that involved learning. So I created, I won't get that specific, but I created basically a learning community that was like, hey, let's learn these Minecraft skills. Minecraft is a great game for that. We'll get into that maybe in a little bit. And then you can basically slowly get promoted, but you're being taught by like other real professionals. That was the idea, like people who are inspiring you to do what you've always wanted to do. And that was the big thing, to get people to do what they've always wanted to do, even if it's a virtual thing. If you can get people actually pursuing something they've always wanted to do since childhood, that's a valuable thing. Plus it is so fun to do with people. Holy moly, it's like my favorite thing. It's, oh my goodness, working with like communities and people like that when they're trying to like follow their vision and dreams for stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's super great. So the group was going to have basically like a training team and then a project team for actually doing like the project. So the training team was going to be like the home, kind of like a more homey vibe, to create an always growing environment. So no matter at what level you are in, you are always supposed to be kind of learning something or moving towards a goal. And eventually, and you could become a teacher, and then we could have more people in the team, or we could take on larger classes and stuff like that. But as you probably know from living life, that is a very large and complex and hard to achieve goal. And I did not realize the gravity of that. And I mean, I thought I did. And I did actually really, really good considering. Like looking at the success I had, I was like, dang, that's not bad. like all right. But yeah, so I want to do that. I'm not explaining it great, but I'm not explaining it bad, so I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, no.
When you get to that point where I can then see you in action, then I'll understand it better.
Yeah. Well, and I'm trying not to get too in the weeds either. But bottom line, I wanted to be able to like take someone who's motivated, like, yeah, I want to learn Minecraft building, and then they could learn from like a professional, which I have the privilege of learning from a professional right now. I'm actually going through building so I can then teach other people how to build. I figure I have to be the first person to go through the process before I can expect others to do it. But that's going to take a while. I don't want to hype that up. I'm very slow. Like, oh my gosh. Like,
well, you have the rest of your life.
I do until Minecraft dies. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I know. I'm just being randomly depressing. Yeah. It's just spontaneous. Super sad. Yeah.
Tell you that. One thing may fade away, but something else will be.
Oh yeah, no, I'm actually not worried about it. It's going good, and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, working with that guy, want to teach him building. Oh yeah, so then I take little Jimmy here, learning all the things. It's going good, and then the hope would be to then immediately transfer him from a Minecraft thing into a real life skill using the same exact structure. That's where it goes bigger. Which is like, I would want to then be like, okay, you want to learn programming, which is actually one that we can support because we have multiple programmers working with us. You want to learn programming? Sweet. Okay, boom. Like, you ask questions, here's a structure. It's just like how you learned Minecraft building. And then boom, they're employable. They're making money.
That's awesome.
Like, not even from us, just like a job. And then they go on their way, maybe they never come back. I don't know. But that's the really big vision. But I've learned quite a bit that I need to apply, and how unreasonable some of the expectations I had were.
Yes. That's a big thing to learn.
Oh yeah.
That's a big lesson.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's kind of the dream version, right? The super exciting maximum version of Pathfinders. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's taking something in the virtual world, taking a skill and putting it into the real world. And it's helping sharing knowledge through people, helping grow. And I think people just need to always be growing. I think you always need to be growing.
Yeah, for sure.
And expanding.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I think these podcasts are, I mean, honestly, my expectations are that Pathfinders may take quite some time to even approach to be able to start. But in the meantime, I want to do these podcasts because, like, I want to talk to people about what's interesting. What's interesting to them is the specific topic that I want to talk to people about. Like, what do you find interesting? You could be like, friggin' volcanoes. I'll be like, all right, let's talk about volcanoes. Like, yeah, you know, or like, probably not politics that much, but you know, because I'm like, oh yeah, let's just divide everybody immediately. Let's put us
all in our boxes.
Yeah, let's all fight, guys. Yeah. No.
I don't consider that growing.
No, definitely not. That's funny. But yeah, like, I want to talk to people about what they're interested in, which is what we've been doing here pretty effectively. Because that's what I want to do in general. Like, if I wasn't doing this, I would be talking to people about what they find interesting anyways.
Right.
And then I find myself having real good conversations. I'm like, dude, what if that was like recorded?
What if 100 people could have heard that conversation?
Yeah.
What if 1,000,000 people
could
hear
that conversation? That would be crazy.
How would that change them that day?
Yeah, for sure.
Influencing.
Yeah, and so there's quite a few more in-depth reasons for all of that, but I don't really feel the need to get into it too much right now. But yeah, do you have any other questions? Or I'll try to think of some for you as well. I like the back and forth. I might have to continue that.
So you have this big plan. How good are you, do you feel, at adjusting and changing your plan as life happens?
I think
you lived enough that question.
No, I think I am good at it. I used to be a lot more like, this needs to happen, and it's like, bro, a lot of responses to that to myself. a lot of words I have to say to myself about that. But yeah, no, ultimately I think that I am pretty good at it. Like, I don't have very much expectation beyond getting this going at a basic level. That's pretty much my only expectation that I have right now.
One thing at a time. Yeah. So how good do you think you are at reacting to change and interruptions in your plans?
Interruptions in my plans. Well, it depends if that plan affects like root things. Like, for example, we are probably moving soon. Not far. We'll be around here still. But I have this super awesome bedroom. And I'm like, I do not want to move from my super awesome bedroom. And because it affects like a lot of my life. It's like
Right,
it affects
it does.
like when I wake up and do my morning routine, right? Like, I can just like boom, 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 done.
Right,
Like
right.
versus if when I move, I'm gonna have to set everything up. I won't even be able to set it up, right? So that's something that I'm like, I'm not gonna react to that change very well.
Yes.
Like that's not gonna be a very smooth process.
Right.
And that's a bummer. But there's other things like, I mean, a super small example, like we're not getting ice cream today, even though I don't, you know, I can get my own ice cream now. I'm an adult, you know, like, heck yeah, let's go. I get my own ice cream now. Yeah. But it's like, okay, cool, that's fine. Or, you know, so small things are totally fine. Medium things though, medium things. Like, oh, we have a ton of work we have to do in school all of a sudden, and it's gonna take your whole week and you can't do anything. That's probably more what you're wondering.
Yeah, life will be better after school.
Yeah, that stuff I think I do good. Yeah, no, I react like, all right, well, this is happening, so may as well get it done. You know, like, oh, that's gonna be a bummer. Like, no sense in dwelling in it. I don't know. I think I have a pretty healthy perspective on it.
Yeah, I always when things don't quite go as planned, or I have a big challenge come up, I can still look at it very positively because I know that on the other end, I will have grown and changed somehow that will benefit me. Which sort of sounds selfish, but in everything in my life, I have a little bit more life than you.
Just a little bit.
That I can look back and I can say, well, that felt bad and horrible at the time, but once I got to the other side, I'm stronger, better, more prepared for life. I kept the positive attitude, so it's like, just keep walking. So if I find myself in change I don't like, or something I don't want to do, I just keep walking because it'll be okay on the other side.
See, that's interesting. That sounds like such a better perspective than I have. Mine's a little more like, whatever, no changing it now. Like, it's a little like, I'm not nearly as positive about it. I'm just like, I'm just gonna do this because it has to be done, and it's might be lame. No, I don't say it has to be lame. I often will even enjoy a lot in the middle of it, which is great and new, by the way.
Nice,
you know, progress.
Nice,
growing. Yes. But yeah,
it took me a long time to get here.
Okay.
I do have 7 kids.
Seven kids. Oh, I didn't even ask you those questions. Yeah, that's crazy.
9 grandkids. I've been married too many times. We won't talk about that. So I've had a lot of adversity, changing, not pleasant moments in my life, and I can tell you that just keep walking. Keep on walking.
Keep on.
Don't take a motel and stick there. Just keep on.
Keep on swimming.
And it'll be fine on the other side, and you'll have grown and gotten stronger and been better. This is something. How important is self-talk to you?
Pretty important. At the same time, I'm kind of a. Oh, do I want to get into this? I'll make this quick. I think it is important, but I also have from what I've seen, a fairly unique perspective of like, I also think it needs to be realistic. Like if someone's like, I'm the best person ever, I'm like, you're probably not the best person ever. But that doesn't mean you need to be negative. You know, that doesn't mean there's not real positive things. So that's the my quick perspective on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Realistic self-talk.
Yeah, realistic self-talk. That's valuable.
Yeah, I have realistic self-talk, but a lot of people get stuck in the negative self-talk and they talk worse to themselves than they would to the person sitting next to them. And it's like, no, I always go to when things get hard is, you got this, you can do this, you've done it before, it's okay, you're gonna get through this, it's gonna be great on the other side, you're gonna be fine. That's kind of like my self-talk. But a lot of people, and the more I have my Tuesday morning show, a lot of people I've noticed dwell in negative self-talk, and it's like, whoa, of course you feel bad. You've been talking to yourself awful.
You've been listening to super depressed music.
You've
That's
been
a thing.
Awful, terrible stuff to yourself for the last 15 years. What do you expect? And you get in that great line of, I'm the best, I'm strongest, I'll do this.
Yeah.
The positive affirmations that are out there.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
I'm talking about
no, you're talking about the more healthy versions. Yes.
The voice in your head.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Is super important.
Yeah. Nice. Well, is there anything else you wanted to cover? I feel like that's pretty good.
I'm really excited to see where you go and how this affects you and to watch you grow.
Oh man, I hope it goes well. We'll see.
I have 7 children, and one of my I like most in life is to watch children grow and become.
And become.
and become. And anywhere I can help that and anybody along the way, I am more than grateful that I get the opportunity to help them, because it's growing and becoming. And the next generation is important. And somewhere, I think sometimes some of us forget that. But the next generation is super important to me. And watching them become is just glorious to me. I just love it. It just makes me happy.
Oh yeah, I think the best investments we can be making is in like really, really young people. I mean, even when I was a kid, which is kind of strange, I was like, dude, like this is the time. Like this is the time to like build people up. You have one more question? Okay, yeah. But like
Yeah.
you help a kid, like if you're an adult or better yet, like an older teenager, then you're like cool. Right, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, let's do this thing, and they're like, their whole world's brighter. Like literally, you could be that cool guy to them for like years of their life, and it's like, dude, you know how little effort that took? Mind blowing, mind blowing.
Yep.
Like, okay, you had a question.
Okay, so how do you like being an adult?
Okay, I consider myself a quote adult right now. I am not fully doing all of the adult things, so I don't have the weight of all the responsibility. But with that in mind, I am liking it. It's going well. I'm doing good in school. Building things and becoming stronger in ways that actually matter, which is like not always easy, but good.
No, it's not easy, but it's good.
Yep. And there are a couple things I don't love about being an adult. Shocker. Yeah.
Being responsible.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I am liking it ultimately. Yeah, it's good to people seem to respect you a bit more, which is nice.
I love being an adult.
You love being an adult, like it's great.
People say to me, "Man, if I could just be 12 again." No.
In some ways, I think that, but in most ways, never. I'm like, it's good. It's good.
I decide what I want to eat, when I want to eat, when I get up, when
I can go buy ice cream.
I want to eat, Dutch apple pie with French vanilla ice cream for dinner.
I can do it. Heck yeah.
Should I do it? No, I know I shouldn't do it. That's not the point.
Not every night, anyway.
I'm home alone. Nobody knows.
Nobody will know.
Guys.
Oh no.
I have power tools. I have money. I have my own car, and I can do anything. I'm unsupervised all day.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, thanks for having me out here. Not even just for this podcast, but in general today. It's been really good. You've shown me the things. It's been good. Showing Mr. Seth over there, who's still going at it with the metal detecting, digging. What's up, Seth? I know.
I need a picture of Mr. Seth.
Yeah, Mr. Seth. I like that we're calling him that now. That's what I normally call him. Name. Yep, Mr. Seth, boy best. Yep. But yeah, no, I appreciate you coming out here, helping me with all the things, advice, all that good stuff.
Hey, I'm here for that. Next generation. You are the next generation.
Isn't that something? Yeah. 43 minutes. That's nice and long. Nice. Good. All right, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for being on here. Leave a comment, all of the things, like the video, and for all of you who made it to the end, yes, I am trying to do podcasts, and it's not a gaming Minecraft thing. I know. Quite a little bit strange. I'm gonna try it. Let's see how that goes. But yeah.